All right, let's talk about something that trips up so many options traders: volatility. Today, we're going to play detective and crack the code on the one thing that really matters. Are you about to get a good deal, or are you getting ripped off? So you're staring at an option chain, right? You see a price. And that one question just pops into your head. Is this thing a total bargain, or am I about to get taken for a ride? I mean, it's the most basic question we have to answer before we even think about placing a trade. Well, to figure that out, you've got to play detective. Seriously. Thinking about an options price is like an investigation, and every good investigation needs clues. So let's start with our first and probably most factual piece of evidence. Okay, so clue number one is the historical record. Like any good gumshoe, we're going to start with the hard evidence. What has this stock actually been doing? What's its rap sheet? This first clue has a name: historical volatility, or HV for short, and you can honestly think of it like the official police report of a stock's past behavior. It's just a straightforward measure of how much the price has actually bounced around, up and down over a specific period of time. It's the facts, plain and simple. So, what's this clue really telling us? Well, it's calculated using something called standard deviation, which is, just a mathematical way of measuring how much a stock's price has jiggled around over the last month or two. This gives us a really solid factual baseline for our whole investigation. But, and this is absolutely crucial, this clue only tells you what has happened. It's history. It makes zero promises about the future. Okay, so we've got the facts, the history. But let's be real, trading is all about what's going to happen, isn't it? So our second clue, this one isn't about facts at all. It's about expectations. It's the chatter on the street, the whispers about what might happen next. And this clue is called implied volatility, or IV. Now, unlike our historical record, IV is looking completely forward. It's not based on the past at all. It's pulled directly from the current price of options. This is what the market thinks is going to happen. It's the buzz, the anticipation, it's the collective fear and greed of the crowd all rolled into one number. I mean, think about it like this. IV is pretty much the price you're paying for uncertainty. It goes through the roof when people are scared or when they're expecting some huge event, like an earnings report. That's why when you buy an option, you're paying for that IV. And when you sell an option, you're the one collecting that premium. And because it's tied to human emotion, it is changing constantly. All right, detective, time to put it all together. We've gathered our evidence. We've got the historical record from HV, and we've got the market's future expectations from IV. Now, we bring them together to solve the case. And this slide really lays it all out. On one side, you've got the cold, hard facts, historical volatility, telling us what actually happened. And on the other, you've got the speculation, the expectation, implied volatility, showing us what the market thinks is going to happen. And the whole secret, the real key to solving our case, is just comparing these two numbers. And boom, this table right here, this is the whole case file summed up. When implied volatility is higher than historical volatility, it means the market is pricing in way more future action than the stock has historically delivered. We call these options rich or expensive. This can be a fantastic setup for anyone looking to sell options. And the reverse is true. When IV is lower than HV, the options are considered cheap, and that might just be a great time to be a buyer.
So let's just hammer this home. When you see that IV is way, way higher than HV, your brain should scream, rich. The fear or the hype in the market is just inflating those option prices, making them expensive compared to what the stock actually does.
And yeah, on the flip side, when you see IV is way down in the dumps compared to HV, you should be thinking, cheap. The market is calm, maybe a little too calm, and the price of those options is low compared to how much the stock has actually moved around in the past. So there you have it. We've laid out all the evidence, we've defined the clues, we've gone over how to interpret them. Now it's really up to you, the lead detective on this case, to make a decision, to render a verdict. So let's just quickly recap the main points from our investigation. Your job is to compare the market's expectation, that's IV, to the historical facts, that's HV. When expectation is way higher than reality, the options are rich, which could be a good signal for sellers. When expectation is low, options are cheap, a potential green light for buyers. But always, always remember that golden rule. The past is powerful evidence, for sure, but it is not a crystal ball. And that, my friends, is how you crack the volatility code. The clues are right there on your screen every single day. The historical record and the market's expectation. They're on the table. The only question left is, what's your verdict?